Episode 2 opens up with a brand new opening, which uses the exact same theme as Game of Thrones, which is very whack, but this is neither the time nor the place. After the opening credits, we see that crab feeder guy we learned about in episode 1 doing what he does best, feeding people to crabs. Lord Velaryon is very upset because his men have been fed to crabs. Otto offers him some money as compensation, which is not what he's trying to hear. He wants to go to war. Also, there's some knight here saying there's some candidates for the King's Guard. Oh yeah, one last thing, Daemon took over Dragonstone with his city guard. This episode takes place 6 months after episode 1, by the way. Did I mention that? Rhaenyra wants to attack the crab feeder guy with dragons, but Otto doesn't like that idea, so he sends her off to pick who will join the Kingsguard instead. When she gets there, she chooses Criston Cole, the guy who whooped Daemon twice. Again, he's the only one that's been to war, so that's that. King Viserys is showing off his cool scale model that's definitely not a toy to Alicent, and accidentally drops his favorite one. He covers up his severe emotional pain by asking Alicent how Rhaenyra is doing, as he's too intimidated to talk to her himself, and Alicent says, just talk to her. Rhaenyra and Alicent go off to give honors to their respective dead mothers, and it's very emotional and seems to encourage Rhaenyra to talk to her father about how she's feeling. The king's cousin and her husband, who happens to be Lord Velaryon, approach him and offer that they unite their houses, even more than they already are, by marrying their daughter to the king. Extra bonus, they're both Valyrian houses, so it'd be a power move. It is his first cousin once removed, but that doesn't seem to be an issue, and he ponders it. Viserys and Rhaenyra are having dinner, and both of them try to communicate with each other, but they haven't done it in a while, so they're pretty bad at it. Rhaenyra expresses remorse over speaking out of turn at the small council, but Viserys says she will learn with time. The king is again dealing with an infected wound, but this time the Maester uses maggots to eat the rotted flesh. This is like a real thing that actually works, by the way. While being eaten alive by maggots, he tells Otto and the Grand Maester about the proposition for marriage. Otto says she's young, but the Grand Maester agrees that it's a power move. Otto realizes he's on losing ground, so he makes an offhanded remark about never being able to replace his own late wife. Oh god, that's not good. King Viserys is walking with his cousin, who's his wife-to-be, and they clearly do not connect, as there's like 3 generations between them. Rhaenyra overlooks this meeting, and she gets a talking to about how the king is gonna marry and she won't get to be queen. Viserys is having lunch with Alicent and says he is absolutely not about marrying that little girl. Alicent also got him a replacement for his favorite dragon toy. Otto busts in and tells the king there is an emergency small council meeting. The meeting is because Daemon is going poly and invites the king to come celebrate, but basically he's just stirring shit up. Otto won't let the king go and offers to go in his stead. At Dragonstone, on this very cinematic bridge, Otto tells Daemon to stop fucking around. Daemon says he does not know what Otto is talking about. Then they all square up, but Daemon has a dragon, so it's not looking good for Team Otto. Rhaenyra shows up on her dragon, uninvited, but evens the large fire-breathing lizard odds. Then she stunts on her uncle because he won't kill her, and she's sick of everyone giving her shit about being a girl. Daemon gives the egg back, but won't give out Dragonstone or his small personal army. Up in the room that will one day have a very cool table, the girl Daemon claimed he was going to marry is mad because he was lying about that and the pregnancy. She also gives him hella lip about going to war with the king, and he seemingly feels bad about it. The king talks about this remarriage thing to the last council member. He's still extremely not about the little girl, on the sole but reasonable basis that she is 12 years old. However, he fears Lord Velaryon's reaction to him denying the offer of his daughter. This is interrupted by news that Rhaenyra has returned from Dragonstone, and she also gets a firm talking to about doing something so reckless, seeing as she's the only heir to the throne currently. Finally, on his warpath of talking to everyone he knows about needing to remarry, he discusses it with his daughter, but makes it clear that he intends to keep her as the heir regardless of what happens. Rhaenyra understands the circumstances and supports him in whatever he needs to do, no matter what. No takesies backsies. King Viserys gathers his council and a few choice additional guests to make his announcement about him deciding to take a new wife. He says that he will marry Alicent, which Lord Velaryon is not happy about, and also it's probably the one singular woman in all of the realm that Rhaenyra would not approve of, so she marches out as well. After the betrayal at the meeting, Lord Velaryon has a conversation with a shady individual about for all of his house's existence that they've been on that grind to get what is theirs. The shady individual is Daemon, by the way. So basically he's testing the waters to see if Daemon will help him deal with this crab guy to buy his allegiance against Viserys or like prove his worth or something.